Tina Turner was more than just a singer. She was a living legend, a voice of power, pain, and passion. Her life was filled with drama, success, heartbreak, and hope. But when she passed away at the age of 83, the world didn't know what she really said in her final moments. Now, her longtime manager has come forward with the truth, and it's more emotional and powerful than anyone could imagine. The Queen of Rock and Roll. Tina Turner's voice shook the world. Born as Anna Mae Bullock in Nutbush, Tennessee, she started with nothing. A small-town girl with big dreams, Tina didn't even know her voice would take her to the top of the world. But it did. Her songs like Proud Mary, What's Love Got to Do With It, and Simply the Best became anthems of strength. Her journey wasn't easy. She faced abuse, poverty, and racism. But she kept singing, kept performing, and never gave up. With wild hair, electric stage presence, and a voice full of fire, Tina Turner redefined what it meant to be a female performer. She didn't just sing songs, she told stories through them. By the 1980s, Tina had made one of the most successful comebacks in music history. After escaping her abusive marriage with Ike Turner, she rebuilt her career from the ground up. She performed across the world and became one of the highest-selling female artists of all time. Millions adored her, and her story became one of survival and inspiration. But even with all the fame, there were things Tina kept hidden about her health, her thoughts, and even her fears. As she aged, Tina Turner slowly stepped away from the spotlight. She moved to Switzerland with her husband Erwin Bach and lived a quiet life away from the noise of the entertainment industry. Fans always wondered why she disappeared so suddenly. Behind the scenes, only a few people knew what Tina was going through. One of them was her longtime manager, Roger Davies. He had been by her side since the 1980s, managing her tours, appearances, and career moves. But he was also more than a manager. He was a close friend, one of the very few who saw the real Tina. A silent goodbye begins. As 2023 arrived, Tina Turner's health took a serious turn. She had already suffered from kidney disease and had received a transplant years earlier. Her body was getting weaker, and her energy was fading fast. But she didn't want the world to see her like that. Tina had always been proud. She believed in showing strength, not weakness. She didn't want sympathy. That's why she avoided public appearances. She didn't want to be remembered as someone who was sick. She wanted people to remember her dancing on stage, glowing with energy. Roger Davies continued to visit her quietly. They would talk for hours, not just about music, but about life, regrets, and the things that truly mattered. Tina was tired, but her mind was still sharp. She would smile at memories, laugh at jokes, and sometimes sit in deep silence. In one of those visits, Roger noticed that Tina was starting to say goodbye in small ways. She began giving away personal things. A handwritten letter here, a signed record there. She told stories behind each object, memories from tours, backstage moments, fan letters she kept for decades. She even talked about the fans. "Tell them I felt their love," she told Roger. "All these years, their love kept me going." But then she said something even more emotional. "Promise me they won't only remember my pain. I had so much joy too." The hidden pain behind the curtain. Tina Turner's smile was always bright, but very few knew the amount of pain she carried. Long before she died, her health had started breaking down. She had survived a stroke, battled intestinal cancer, and suffered from high blood pressure that damaged her kidneys. Even after her kidney transplant in 2017, complications didn't stop. Her body was slowly giving up, but Tina never showed it to the public. She hid her struggles behind her strong image. She kept her dignity, even in suffering. Roger recalls moments when she would try to walk and suddenly stop, frozen by pain. But she would wave it off and say, "Don't worry, I'm just dancing slower now." It was her way of hiding the truth, of staying strong. But in private, Tina started talking more about her life, especially the people she had loved and lost. She talked about her sons, especially her son Craig, who tragically died in 2018. That loss hit her harder than anything. She said, "No mother should bury her child. It breaks something inside you that never heals." She also spoke about Ike Turner. Even after years of abuse and pain, Tina had forgiven him. She didn't hold on to hate. "He gave me music, and he gave me pain, but I made peace with both." Her words showed how much she had grown. She wasn't bitter. She was wise. She had turned her pain into power. Her final days in Switzerland. In her beautiful Swiss home, Tina Turner spent her last days surrounded by nature, music, and the man she loved. Her husband, Erwin Bach, stayed by her side every moment. They had been together for over 35 years. He was her rock. Erwin and Roger both worked together to make Tina's final days peaceful. They played her favorite music, lit candles every evening, and brought her favorite flowers into the room, white roses. Tina loved silence in her last days. She said it helped her connect to her inner peace. But sometimes, she would ask Roger to play soft versions of her own songs. When River Deep Mountain High played one evening, she smiled and whispered, "That's the one that made me believe in myself." She began to sleep more. Her words became fewer, but more meaningful. On her last day, Roger sat next to her. Tina looked at him with soft eyes. She was calm, as if waiting for the right moment. She reached for his hand, and then slowly whispered something that he would never forget. "I hope I did enough." Those were her final words. Not about fame, not about pain, but about meaning, about purpose. "I hope I did enough." Roger told her, "You did more than enough, Tina. You gave the world everything." And with a faint smile, Tina Turner, the queen of rock, closed her eyes forever. The world reacts to her final words. When the news of Tina Turner's death broke, millions mourned across the globe. Fans gathered outside her home. Social media filled with emotional tributes. Celebrities, musicians, politicians. Everyone had something to say. But no one knew her final words. Roger Davies stayed silent for months. He wanted to honor Tina's privacy. But after reflecting, he felt that the world deserved to hear them. Not to cry more, but to feel what Tina felt in those last moments: peace, humility, and grace. He finally said it in an interview. "Her last words to me were, 'I hope I did enough.' And I want to tell everyone, she did more than enough." That one line touched hearts. People everywhere felt it deeply. It wasn't the dramatic final line of a star. It was the soft truth of a human being. A woman who gave her soul to the world and still wondered if it was enough. Fans started writing those words on posters, artwork, even tattoos. It became a symbol of Tina's spirit, honest, raw, and real. Tina Turner's physical voice may be silent now, but her legacy will never fade. Her songs still play in cars, clubs, and concerts. Her story still inspires women and men to rise, fight, and live boldly. The world remembers her not just for her music, but for her courage, for walking away from abuse, for starting again at 40, for showing that no matter how dark the past is, the future can still shine. Roger Davies continues to share stories of her life. Her husband Erwin keeps her memory alive in the way she wanted, with music, kindness, and love. And fans continue to sing her songs, dance to her rhythms, and remember her strength. As Roger once said, "She left this world asking if she did enough." But we all know the truth. She changed music, changed lives, and changed the meaning of survival. Tina Turner did more than enough. She was, and always will be, simply the best.